As I reflect over my life, I can clearly see all mental health crises stem from traumatic events. Sometimes, simply, a broken heart can trigger a developing mental health imbalance. Simply understanding that great emotional disappointment needs a safe space with unique healing time is enough to release generational mental health concerns. Biologically, mental health concerns are passed into a child that is born into a family bred of abuse. Simply sharing this truth has made me the target of a lot of death attempts because the mental health industry is being forced to evolutionize with the revolution taking place in our current society. The truth of men's hearts is being exposed when they're having grave difficulty having their basic needs being met. Man, not all, some, are so concerned with their selfish desires that they create scandal out of fear of change. I am learning how to trust from scratch after being severely isolated, abused, and scapegoated by many people who I've seen them at their best selves, even if they do not see themselves as such. It is not for me to be hurt by another simply because they are hurting and do not know how to properly grieve the loss of their comfortability. Had I not rebirthed my mental health, I would have been a toxic person to my children. I understand the impact that a revolving door of child abuse can have on a society. Look at all the corruptness taking place due to a lot of individuals who are afraid of their first abusers. So these individuals wanted to become more powerful than the abusers. They didn't realize that abuse is not power. It's weakness. It's lack of self-control. It's lack of self-discipline. It's fear. It's lack of humanity. I have been subjected to over 1,000 forms of abuse. And it is a choice to express the deep hurt, sadness, and anger that I feel when others target me externally with their internal abuse. I express my grievance with art, laughter, and overall love. It is very difficult to be in the same room with an abusive, manipulative individual, so I limit my interactions with these types of people. But it's interesting, those abusive, manipulative people go above and beyond to have communications with me. I can clearly see they have questions and want answers, and do not understand that no one is out to get them. I'm starting to see they feel like highly targeted individuals, so they create an atmosphere where others feel unsafe as well. This is an ongoing cycle of prolonged grievancing, which shows up in the form of lack of peace and lack of personal boundaries and not respecting others' boundaries. I'm simplifying narcissism because if you can understand its origin, you can understand its path of development. Ongoing trauma is premeditated. Breaking the cycle of abuse is not easy, but when you get through the initial stages of acknowledging that abuse is taking place, it's much easier to accept that life is always changing. Trauma and abuse will tell you that life is the same as it was before. But the reality is, change is happening all the time, even if you're not willing to change on your own. We are not the trauma of our bloodline, nor are we the diagnosis or projections of biased individuals who are disconnected from themselves. We are a community of survivors, overcomers, lovers, explorers, dream chasers and makers. And no matter how the past has tried to stop you from creating harmony in your life, this moment of transition is but a moment. Whether you know it or not, you are being well supported, and we thank you for your sacrifices. You will be greatly blessed for the pain and losses you've had to endure. This is not a time to give up on your vision or give in to the subtle bullying of others. Pamper yourself as you undergo these magnificent changes. It is not a weakness to be kind and gentle. It is a strength to acknowledge the scars within and on you that came from having your kindness and gentleness be exploited. It is a strength to set, maintain, and strengthen your boundaries around those who wish to dishonor you as they dishonor themselves. While the pain they subject you to may be temporary for you, it is eternal for them because they know not the impact that lack of humanity within themselves has on themselves. Do not seek revenge on them when they try to hurt you in any way. Simply pray for your enemies.